This week, we are going to be making an offering of healing in observance of Earth Day. Also going to be crafting a spell together, petitioning the Goddess Artemis to see this work swiftly and completely on its way. Hello everybody, welcome. I am so happy to see you. Thank you for coming. It's me, Liza, otherwise known in various parts of the internet as Crow Mother. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you turn on your notifications to get these videos every week. Like this video and then share it far and wide. Let me know how you do with this. I love to see the after pictures of what we create together. Let me know if you have any questions. I love to talk to you in that way too. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how it goes. First of all, another week. How are you? Let's go from the top down today. We'll reverse the order. How is your head? How is your head? Where's your head at today? How is your beautiful heart? How is your body feeling? Why are we here creating magic in service of Earth Day? If I'm being really forthright as a caregiver, as a community servant to you, I have to be honest. And my honest opinion is that if you call yourself a witch to any degree, you are responsible for the stewardship of the earth and its inhabitants, all of its inhabitants. Now, every week when we meet with each other, we check in. How are you? How am I? How are we doing? What do I need? This is beautiful and really fosters, I think, a necessary healing for the individual and for the community on a human level. But how then are we remembering to care for the natural world and its inhabitants of the non-human variety, plant matter, animal matter, the literal soil on which we stand and live? If you call yourself a witch, it is your responsibility to care for your environment. If you call yourself a witch, you are responsible for the stewardship of this place. Are you responsible for all that came before you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You and I in daily practice, you and I in daily creation of alchemy and magic ask much of our environments. Are we, are you, am I remembering to give back at least as much as we ask for? I certainly hope so. So today our focus, especially because it is Earth Day, our focus for this day, a simple, a sweet, but profoundly powerful exercise to do just that. Together, we're going to create some pollinator seed pods, and then we are going to create a charging altar grid in service to the Goddess Artemis and ask that she carry our work swiftly and with great power as far and wide as it needs to go. Let's get started. First, we are going to just make a couple of these pollinating seed pods. So the first thing that you are going to do is you are going to find seed bundles, seed packets. A combination is ideal. That is to say a combination of seeds would be ideal. There are some by a maker called Botanical Interest called Save the Bees. They also create a mix called Pollinator Garden. I have a combination of all of these because I wanted to make a lot to show you. So I have used 4 packets of pollinator variety. If you have access to a variety mix, that's best. If you can only get your hands on something singular, that's okay too. Then you are going to get some air dry clay. Very easy. You can order these things from any big box store. You can certainly access these things at any local small business that you have access to. We start with options. We always talk about options. What is the most preferable option? The most preferable option is going to be a non-GMO, and don't roll your eyes at me, a non-GMO pollinator mix variety of seeds. First choice for air dry clay is going to be a non-toxic clay, a non-toxic air dry clay that you get from a local art supply store. So no matter what kind of air dry clay you get, no matter where you've gotten it, you are going to take a small amount of this. I am going to suggest that how you scoop out your air dry clay would either be with your hands, not trying to mess these nails up, or with a natural material or biodegradable material instrument, such as this wooden butter knife. You're going to get about a quarter-sized dollop of your clay. You flatten it out, doesn't have to be perfect, and then you press your tray of seeds. Of course, I should have maybe stated that you want to have a plate or a tray, any sort of flat surface to really spread out your seed mix. You take your relatively mushed or flattened clay, and then you're going to press it into, you're going to press it and get seeds everywhere. And it would look something like that. Yep, seeds everywhere. Then you are going to fold it sort of into itself like a piece of delicious dough, and then you get the fun part. You're gonna roll it up like that. And it would look something like this. Depending on how much seed you have, you just keep going until you have no more seeds. How big do you want your seed pods or seed pearls? Not so big as it takes a long time for the rain, the snow, the dew to break them down. Of course, as with all things that we do together, you should feel encouraged to really focus on what you're doing while you're doing it as sort of a moving meditation. This is my favorite part. I like to squish things. Really try to infuse the seeds, the clay, and especially now as you roll them into your shape, infuse this material with healing energy. Yes, we are still going to create an altar grid to Artemis to help us with our work, but give it all you got, because the earth needs all we've got, because the earth gives us all that it has got, and then some, and then some, and then some. So we're going to work extra hard for it. I have anything from this small-ish size that looks relatively packed with seeds to something about that big that doesn't really look like it has much of anything. I'm really wanting to learn more about Artemis because I have to tell you, Artemis is not a goddess that I work with very often. She is the patron for a lot of very profound witches that I know. I do not work with her or observe or petition her for too much, but I thought it would be a perfect combination for our time together today. So having formed your seed pods and pearls, you are going to lay them out on a relatively flat surface for at least overnight. My suggestion would be a full 24 hours to allow them to really solidify. Having assembled them and having allowed them to dry for about a day or so, we will now create a grid together. First, a little bit about the divine Artemis. Artemis is the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and she is the twin sister of Apollo. Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, She is the goddess of the moon and of chastity. She is symbolized by the hunting knife or the bow and the quiver. She is the goddess of the natural world, of the hunt, but of wild animals and all of their kingdoms. She is also most often associated, because she is known for chastity, she's associated with children. The more that I learn and grow in reverence of Artemis, the more that I can see her as the divine protector of the natural world and all those that are innocent in that way. Because of this, we are petitioning her to carry our work far and wide, as far as is needed to go, and further to continue to inspire us toward meaningful healing action of the earth and the natural world. So remembering that your seed pods or pearls are the anchor here, you will have them in the center. And at the corners or surrounding your pods, you will create your grid and your offerings to Artemis. Because Artemis is known for the moon, one of her main colors that she is associated with and seen by is silver. So if you can get your hands on a silver candle, great. If all you have access to is a white candle, that is also okay too. Additionally, I always have some charged moon water on hand, and today I have a small blue, green, and white chalice filled with full moon water. This to further carry our intention and our magic in hopes that Artemis visits us here in the well of moon water that we've provided for her. I have brought in additional offerings to Artemis. I've brought some kind of raw, natural, clear quartz. I brought these because they still have Ozark dirt in them. I've never wanted to clean them out. They feel perfect just the way they are. We are working with, of course, 3 of those. I also have a rock, just a rock from a very special place that a very special friend has brought me. And I have one of my magic wands that is a piece of driftwood. And finally, I have a wild springing up of lavender for softness and forgiveness. I have a new sprig of rosemary, because it also smells amazing, and because we are asking for cleansing of ourselves, our actions, our intentions, and of the earth. And spearmint for clarity. May I be sharp in mind in my quest for ecological justice moving forward. And speaking of justice, the last 2 things that I'm going to add here as anchors for this little altar grid in our petition to Artemis, I have the star. I'm bringing the star card from my most used tarot deck. This is Manzel's Tarot, for those that are not familiar. I'm anchoring our petition here with a request for healing for the earth and all of its natural inhabitants. And for that, I'm bringing the star. Lastly, I am petitioning for justice. I am petitioning for ecological justice for the earth and all of its natural inhabitants. And in this way, with these offerings to Artemis, I am asking that my work, my actions, my thoughts, everything that I do with this moving forward is in service to the justice and healing of our environment. So once you have all of the tools that you're choosing to use for our petition, once you have all of that assembled, remember, you want your seed pods at the center of whatever it is you are arranging for Artemis. We're petitioning her to view our work. We are petitioning her to assist us now and moving forward. First, I write. Mighty and gentle Artemis, please carry this work into all of the places it is needed most. Please continue to inspire us into actions of justice, healing, and protection for the earth and all of its inhabitants. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your protection. Please Please carry this work far and wide as you see fit. And so it is. As you create your invocation, as you continue to make any offerings that have felt best and most right for you, you are going to, of course, really continue to see healing energy infused from your hands and your intentions into that which you've created. How long do you leave these here charged? Until your altar candles go down, no matter what colors they happen to be. Do you want to use candles that are larger than these kind of smallish altar candles? Sure, you can do that. Use any size that makes the most sense to you. Use any size that you have best access to. Remember, you are your own greatest tool of magic and creation, and practical magic is very, very, very powerful. Especially when we are talking about conservation and stewardship of the earth. We really want to try to use things that can be reused over and over. We really want to be trying to use things in our practice and in our daily lives that are not taking away from that which we continually ask to assist us. Allow these to continue to charge until your candles have finished burning and until you feel satisfied that they have gathered up all of the workings that they need. And then what? Guerrilla gardening. You can take these in any kind of carrier that you have. You can just take them in your hand. Carry a few with you when you go out to places and just like toss them over the fence and into places that you are pretty sure are not going to be mowed over. Before you toss them anywhere, really wish them a bon voyage, so to speak. Give a little thought, more than a little thought, to where you want these to go. Do you see spaces of land that look ravaged? Throw them near there. Is there a short supply of wildlife, of bees, moths, butterflies? Throw them there. And then, once you've dispersed all of your seed pods, try to be mindful of receiving any of the ways that Artemis visits you in inspiration for continued justice and action and healing of the earth. It needs all we've got, really and truly. Let me know how you do with this. I love to see the after pictures of what we create together. Let me know if you have any questions. I love to talk to you in that way too. I love to hear how these things go for you after. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how it goes. Once again, if you have not already, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notifications to make sure you get these videos every week. Like this video and share it far and wide. Merry meet, merry part, merry may we meet again. I will see you next week. Mwah.